All right, guys, welcome to our team call for Tuesday, September 27th. I cannot believe it's already the end of September. It's so crazy, but I can because it's been a wild month. So first and foremost, welcome. Oh, I love the wave. And does anyone have any rank advancement or any sort of recognition that they want to shout out first? Doesn't have to be rank advancement. Okay, I do. Katie Hessler's not on the call, but she reached Emerald rank on this past Thursday, and we haven't celebrated her yet. So I want to take a minute and recognize her hard work. She's been really dedicated, asking lots of questions, and it's been so awesome to see her just dive all in. So congratulations to her. Anyone else have anything they want to shout out? Oh, and I do want to just, can you guys still hear me? I was frozen, I think. Can you hear me? Hello? Oh dear. You can? Okay, cool. I don't know why I was frozen on my side. You should have seen the faces you guys all had when you were frozen. Anyway. So, and then I do want to just take a second and recognize Brandy, because I just loved your post. You were so brave by posting on social media and sharing what worked for you and your story, and just, it was so raw and awesome and real. And she had so much interest, which was so awesome. So I don't know, that's so brave. It's so hard to do the first one. So congratulations for stepping out of your comfort zone. Anyway, you guys.
Sorry, where did she post it so I can read it? I'm a little behind.
She posted on her public wall, on her Facebook wall, on her public wall.
Under this same group?
I actually shared it in our group page. So if you click on Brandy's name, you can read it.
Okay, thank you. I gotta go back and catch up. Thanks.
Okay, well, awesome. So we'll go ahead and get started. I wanted to first and foremost tell you guys that I don't know, I guess we'll do this next week, but tomorrow is my 2 years in this business, which is just so crazy to me. I don't know, I had to share that because it's been on my mind. Just so much has changed, and I was sort of thinking, and I was talking to Dana today about what I could share, what we could talk about today on our team call, and I wanted to make sure that it was aligning with what we as a team need. And to me, I contemplated like going back and forth about lessons that I've learned, and it's, like I said, 2 years, it's like a crazy long time to be committed to this, it feels like, and to really have been giving it my all. And I think, what has really stuck out to me has been that, I don't know, I just want to I want to start telling you guys a story, right? Like, I started this business in a real place of desperation. I mean, I had no real option for being in the position with 2 kids and being in a financial place where I was going to be able to support my family. I wanted to stay home with my kids, but more than that, I wanted to not work full time to bring home no money. That light's super distracting. And I dove in. I did everything that Dana told me to do. I went for it. I didn't ask questions. I heard what the vital behaviors were, and I was just committed to doing that because I kept thinking, I've seen other people have success in this business. Dana is my really good friend from high school. If she can do it, I can do it. If she's done it, I can do it. And I started just doing it. I did what she had done because that's all I knew. And this business was so overwhelming to me when I started. I mean, the cycling, the challenge group, all the groups. I was like, wait, who's my coach? Like, who's my coach? What is this? Are you my grandma coach? Like, I literally had zero idea of how everything worked together. And, there were countless nights that even Ryan and I would sit down and try to understand the compensation plan and like figure out what volume was. And I was doing those things, but I was more than that. I knew that if I wanted to get this going, I had to just get out there. So my big priority was to just talk to people. So I did that, and I really made that my priority for about I mean, for those solid 7 months that I was really pushing to be home with my daughter, I worked my butt off messaging every single person I could all the time. Like I lived with my phone. And not saying that that's the best way to go, but that's what I did. And then I came back around and I thought, okay, gotta figure out. We gotta figure out where it is, what's going on. How can I scale back a little bit? I'm kind of living on my phone right now. It's not really what I want to do. And so I kind of took a step back and tried to figure out where I could go differently. And guys, what I did for those 6 months was, you know, I still was pushing. I still hit Success Club. I still wanted to make sure I was still building that foundation for my success. But then in January of the beginning of this year, I built up all this credibility. I feel like I became pretty credible. You know, I left my job. I worked hard. I had a good group of core people. And then in this January, I sort of went through this period where I felt like that credibility was almost crippling me. Like that, I let the fear seep in. Like I felt like I had built so fast and now I didn't know if I could keep up with it. And so I sort of looked for excuses and different ways and different avenues to go. Like I was trying, you guys probably saw it. Like I'm sure you did. I built like all these free group templates and I did new challenge group guides and I built new trainings and I put all of this stuff together and I put the Master Coach bundle together and I did all of these cool things, which I mean, I hope you guys are taking advantage of and are using. But it took me away from concentrating on the basics. So for the first 6 months of this year, I said I wasn't focusing so much on the things that were important. I was more.
All our mouths are full.
Hey, Carly, can you just mute your line? Sorry.
Oh, yep, sorry. I thought it was.
No, it's okay. So I was searching for, I was letting a little fear creep in, but also I was searching for the shortcut. Like I thought there had to be something that I was missing for some reason. And I don't know if you guys feel that way, but I felt like that a lot of the beginning part of my business. Like I got it up and running and then I was like, okay, where can I find like some kind of shortcut, like some kind of key? There's got to be something that I'm missing that I can learn and then everything will just fall into place and it'll be way easier. And I just want to tell you guys that there's nothing, number one, there's no secret. It's been 2 years of me like kind of thinking in my mind, like maybe there's a secret, maybe there's not. And I've watched my business ebb and flow over the course of the past 2 years, according to the time that I put into building different parts of my business, whether that have been the behind the scenes stuff, that those systems, the free groups, or whether it was just the consistency behind the vital behaviors. I don't know, I wanted to read a quote to you guys because I was flipping through my books. Like I said, I've been so into reading lately, but this is sort of how I feel like I've been able to move through this place where I felt like fear was kind of holding me back. It says, refuse to allow a weakness or a lack of ability in any area to hold you back. Everything is learnable, and what others have learned, you can learn as well. And that has to be the attitude that you go into all of these things, right? And the moral of the whole story is I think a lot of times we let the fear, if we look at the real root of why maybe we're not putting the time into what we know we should be doing every day, which is those vital behaviors. If we look at the core of that, I think a lot of times it's fear. And I think I have those fears too. I still do. I don't know if some of you guys know, but I started doing my power hour first thing in the morning, like 6 a.m. And that's not because like necessarily I'm at my tip top shape at 6 a.m., but that's because I know at 6 a.m., I'm going to get that out of the way and I'm going to feel empowered. And that's going to invigorate me because I've done that thing that scares the shit out of me. Oh, sorry, the kids. I know the kids. But the thing about it is, you guys, is that there's always going to be new fears. And that's something that's going to happen to you with your business. And if you're not open to growing through those fears too and getting to the next set of fears, then you're not going to grow and you're going to reach a standstill. But I'm going to circle back to this quote also, which I thought was really interesting. Sorry. So, can you guess which items the average person is most likely to procrastinate? The sad fact is that most people procrastinate the top 10% of the items that are most valuable and important as the vital few. You often see people who appear to be busy all day long, but seem to accomplish very little. This is almost always because they are busy working on tasks that are low value while procrastinating those 1 or 2 activities that could really make a big difference. And that's why I wanted to share that story, because I realized that that's what I was doing. I was really procrastinating at the core, what we need to do every single day to move our businesses forward. And and like I said, it's a lot of fear. I was afraid that I had built this structure and now I had to go back to the basics, right? So I'm gonna tell you guys that I think, when we get outside of ourselves and we realize that, and right now I'm kind of speaking to, I'm sure you guys have already guessed, the vital behavior that is inviting, because that's probably what we all tend to ignore the most. But I think when you get outside of yourself and you make a contribution to other people and you can see other people as the reason that you're working so hard, it's going to help you really align with all those core behaviors. So I want to go through the core behavior, the vital behaviors, and just talk through them with you guys. What? Oh no, in a minute. So, and then also, sorry, one more quote. I'm all about the quotes today. No, actually, I already read you guys that one. So, really quick question. Do you guys feel like you're doing the vital behaviors every day? You could just type in the comments if you, yes or no. Do you find that there's one that you procrastinate more so? Yeah. Right. Okay. That's what I thought. That's what I was sort of. Yeah. Okay. So I think it's really easy in this business to get distracted by the shiny things, right? We want to grow fast. We want to get it going. We see all the success. Actually, PD was the thing I procrastinated actually first for the longest time. It was the first, I remember having this conversation with my friend where I said, I don't know what's going on. I'm doing the things, I'm struggling this month. And she was like, well, did you do your PD? And are you reading? And I was like, no, I don't have time for that. No. And honest, so I've been there. I get it. I think it becomes one of those things that, and this is something I wanted to share, but for those of you guys that don't know, these are the 4 now vital behaviors. So we have being a product of the product, which is obviously doing your own workout program, focusing on your health and nutrition. Inviting, we have personal development, and recognizing. So those are the 4, and recognizing is the new one. So personal development to me, like I said, was the first thing that I wanted to procrastinate. And I think you reach this place where you can look at, and I think personal development at the core is, guys, it's so everything. And once you can make that switch and realize, you have to look at it like this. Here you are in this place, listening to this call, and you're wanting to get to this big, and here's the problem. If you don't have a big goal if you don't have your vision, and that's it. If you don't have a vision for what you think, where you're going, what this business is going to do for you, where you're going to be standing if you're speaking in front of a bunch of people, if you have a huge team, if you have the best team culture, whatever it is, where you're going to be. If I have, my vision is to have a friggin' 50 people on this call, all hanging on my every word. Let me tell you what I know I need to work on. My personal speaking skills, my confidence, my ability to relay a message in order, focus. Those are my things. You have to be able to look at your vision and figure out where it is you are now and what skills, where is that gap? What skills do you need to learn to be able to get to the place where you see yourself? And if you can put I know it's sometimes we think it's so cheesy, but it's true. If you can visualize yourself in that position in your future where you're leading a team, what skills do you know? What attributes do you have? What abilities do you have? What characteristics and qualities do you have in that place that you don't have now? And that's where you can set out to learn now. You have so much opportunity to learn and grow. And guys, the world is ours. Like I read in that quote, I mean, there is nothing that you can't learn. And that is so powerful, to just realize that there are a million books out there waiting to teach you the lessons that you need to learn. If you're struggling to hit Success Club, or you're struggling to talk to people, or you're struggling with communication, like pick up a book. And that's not to say that you're not good at that thing. Like it changes for me month to month, depending on, like I actually reached out to Colleen Curtis the other day. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but I was like, what are you reading right now? Because whatever you're reading right now is setting you on fire. Like you can see it in your posts. You can see it in your attitude. You can see it in your videos. So whatever you're reading is going to affect your, like I'm a firm believer, it's going to affect your whole month. It's going to affect whatever that time period is. So if you're feeling like your business is lagging, pick up a new book, or like put on an audio tape, or just take some time, do some self-reflection, look at your business, figure out what it is where you feel like you're being held back and what fear is getting in your way, and then learn something that's going to help you move past that. So it can change, month to month. Some months I feel super confident. Some months I feel like I got to take a step back and work on my focus. Some months I feel like I'm the best public speaker in the world and I got my shit together and I'm organizing some slides for you guys. But we have to be the ones to step back, self-reflect, not just look at, what book everyone else is reading, but think about what you need to grow. And that aligns again with your vision for yourself. So PD can be a time, I'm just going to say it. I think it can be a huge time suck if you're not learning the right thing. So make sure that what you're learning is the right thing for you. Because if it's not, it's a way for you to procrastinate doing the things that you need to do. Like you can't open up a book that does nothing for your brain that in the area that you need it and expect to grow your business, because that's just a distraction from the area that you actually need to grow in. So just some thoughts about PD. And another thing that you guys can do to grow, what's really helped me is to look at that gap. I always think about that vision for myself and what areas I know I need to just face head on, like public speaking and speaking about things I'm uncomfortable with. And then, like I said, you can reflect. Another thing that you guys should do is have a success partner where you can talk about things together. So if you're struggling in certain areas of your business, if it's leadership, if it's recruiting, if it's finding people, whatever that area is for you, you guys can talk about that together and bounce ideas off of each other. Maybe your success partner sees something that you don't see, and that's where you guys can help each other out. I had a call actually with Meg this morning, and I was telling her what I think my struggles were, and it's always interesting to get someone else's perspective, because sometimes we're hard on ourselves. Sometimes we don't really, we judge ourselves and we're not looking at the big picture too. And then masterminding. So alongside this, I want to tell you guys every Tuesday, I'm going to start opening up this call at 6 o'clock. So it's going to be 30 minutes before, if anyone wants to jump on and just chat and mastermind and think of ideas and bounce things off of each other. I'll just be here. I'll be working. And then if anyone gets on, so be it. But that's a, I think, great opportunity for us to talk about what's working for us and what's not working for us and move forward together and help each other out where we need help. The second one is being a product of the product. Okay, thank you. Being a product of the product and focusing on your own health on your own health and fitness goals, because you are, number one, you are a walking billboard for your business, obviously. But number two, and what's been more important to me to think about is that I'm never going to be a phony. Like, I will not tell people to work out if I'm not working out. I just can't. I can't do it. I won't do it. I will tell people I'm not working out, and I will tell people that I just chugged some wine. I didn't chug wine, but I thought about it. But I won't I will not tell people the truth. And the only way that people are going to believe in you and believe that they can help you is if they see that you're working your hardest on your program and that you're committed and that you're showing people what's possible, because no one wants to see a billboard of someone else or like a results picture that you found on the internet. They want to see you. They want to believe in you. They want to know that you're the one that's going to be able to help them with their success. And, you know, use this as an opportunity to really focus on your health. Like, that's freaking awesome that we have that. It's awesome that we have the opportunity to hold ourselves in this place of ultimate accountability. Like, we can be so accountable for our goals because we're showing everyone else what's possible. Like, that's what makes me press play in the morning. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I would still be pressing play every day if it weren't for the fact that I'm going to show up for the people that I'm telling that they can do it too. So if you're going to tell someone else you can do it too, you have to do it. I think that one's easy because I do like feeling good, and you guys probably like feeling good too. Number 3 is invites. So inviting is obviously where we all struggle with procrastination. And I'm sure it's the one thing that you maybe don't do and go to bed and say, oh, maybe I'll do that tomorrow. And you think, like, maybe you're like me where you think, oh, well, maybe there's a better way. Like, I could put out these are things that I've done. I can put out a form on my website. I can mass email everyone and ask them if they want to be in a challenge group, or I can just put up like my challenge ad and like hope for the best. Like, those things don't work. Like, no one is going to come talk to you. They don't, I mean, like, maybe in the future when you've built this like giant following, but the fact is that like none of us are at that place yet. So no one is going to know that you can help them unless you're asking them if they need help. The number one thing you can do to change this for you is to really put yourself in a place before you sit down at your computer, before you're psyching yourself all up. Like, I'll tell you again what I think hurt me in the past. I got myself to a place where I was like, okay, I have my shit, I have my coffee, I have my Energize, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna like hammer out all these invites. And like, that's not it. I mean, yeah, we want to invite people, but you have to take it back to just like, I would take a deep breath now. If I could talk to the old Kelly, I'd be like, hey, take a deep breath, start focusing on really wanting to help people. Maybe like write something on your computer screen or like up on your desk that says, help more people, or out of your head, into your heart. That's been my motto. But you really have to have your heart in the right place. And if you do, and you're confident in what we offer, and you know that you can help someone, it's not going to be that hard. And I always think this too. And I think, you know, Haley Christian, I think, said this on our call last week, that it's rude to tell someone, like, you don't know what someone is going through. You don't know how they feel when they look in the mirror. You don't know how upset they are, maybe that they cry themselves to sleep. So who are you to not invite someone to help someone? I don't know if you guys saw my post, but I heard some people the other day when I was working literally talking about how they saw themselves in the mirror after the shower and ran away because they didn't want to see themselves naked. Like they couldn't look in the mirror. And that shit almost made me want to cry. It still does. Like, that's what we're dealing with. A lot of people that feel that way. So you have to realize that inviting is the core of this business. It's why we're doing what we're doing. If people are feeling that way, most times they're not going to come and ask you. Like, they're waiting for someone to stretch out their hand and ask them if they need help. So you have to be that person to do that. It doesn't have to be scary. If it's coming from a place of genuine care and concern, it's not scary. You have to believe in yourself. And I think this is why all the vital behaviors work together so well, because you're not going to believe in yourself unless you're doing it and you know what's possible. And you're not going to believe in yourself unless you're growing in confidence. Maybe that's where you're lacking, or confidence is what aligns with this. But you have to be growing in mind, and you have to be working on your own journey, and then you're going to be comfortable inviting someone else to join you. Like I said, no one's going to reach out to you, especially in the beginning. They're waiting for you to reach out to them. And this is the number one thing that's going to grow your business. Inviting, right? Like, nothing else is going to grow your business. If it's the end of the month and you're struggling, like, I'll be completely honest with you guys. This is literally my hardest month that I've ever had in this entire business. Like, I struggled big time, like big time. I don't even know how many people I've talked to in the past week, because I was sitting at 4 and Success Club 4, and then I went up to 8, and then I lost 2 people because they were leads, and then I somehow made it back today because I didn't give up. And that's the other thing about these vital behaviors. Like, you have to just keep doing them. You can't say, oh, they're not working. You have to learn and remember, like I said in the beginning of this call, that everything is learnable. And that goes back to that, the personal development. If you're struggling and you're not hitting your goals, figure out what you need to learn and keep doing it. Don't give up. Just commit to that line in the sand. And then the last one is recognizing, and this again, I think really coincides with our mission, which is giving, like giving and helping people. And when we're recognizing people, we're making them feel good. We're showing them that they're on the right path. Like, I didn't know I was on the right path or not in the beginning. Like, I was looking for every handout I could get. Like, did I friggin' post something on social media and almost had a heart attack? Or like, I don't know, like, I didn't know what I was doing. Even in my challenge group, like, am I on the right path? Like, tell me. Like, so this is for our coaches, guys, for our teammates. Like, shout someone out if they're on your team and you think they did an awesome job. Like, why not tell them, like, hey, you're doing something great? Or your challengers, you know, everyone needs to hear that. I don't know. I even saw someone posted in our challenge group, like some killer picture of their bicep. And then I saw they posted underneath, like, oh, I doubted them. Thanks for the encouragement. I was like, what? Like, but that just goes to show you, like, we're so judgmental with ourselves, and we have so much judgment in ourselves. And this is our job. We get to give the gift of health and the happiness and the feel-good vibes and share that all around. So don't be shy about that. I think it's a great, awesome. I think it's a great 4th vital behavior, because it's really, it's helping us stay aligned with who we are in the heart of the business. So those are the 4. I'm noticing that we're running out of time. I'm also losing my voice, so I'm going to take a sip of water and see if you guys have any questions right now before I run out of time. Oh my God. Oh, it's so thirsty there. Does anyone have any questions about even just specifics, or if this was helpful? I mean, I know I was kind of like going on a few rants there, but I think at the root of it, I wanted to really have this conversation because I think it's really easy as newer coaches too, to look at all of the different things that maybe like I've done with the trainings and the groups and the welcome letters and this and that. And it's like, whoa, I have so much to do, but you don't. Number one, I did all of this stuff, so just tweak it and take it, and Dana has a ton done too. And number 2, at the root of everything are these behaviors. And you can't expect to grow until you figure out how to do these well. And the other thing I wanted to touch on is, if you're scared of any of these things, or you feel like you can't do these things well, that's an opportunity to just get out there and do them. Yeah, you can invest in your PD, but just go do them and see what works, because you're gonna learn way more by doing than just like thinking about what might work best. Like, do it, see if it sticks, kind of reevaluate, look at the conversations. And guys, like, I can't even tell you how long it used to take me to send one invite, because I was like, okay, I just change around those 18 words and that, and then put some like now it doesn't feel like that, because I know I've just done it so many times. So I know what works. I know the vibe. I can relate to people. I know how to mesh
Mama,
with the conversation, but that doesn't
excited.
happen until you're just doing it. And that's what, and that's really what I wanted to focus on in this call too, is that you can't work on, it's so important to work on getting really, really great at these things first before you branch out. And like I said, you're not going to get really, really great at these things unless you're just doing them. He is so overtired. It's insane. So yeah, doing. And if you have questions, that's great. Like, but just put it out there. Like, put the invite out there, and then come back to it and ask in our team page, like, hey, what did I do? Could I have done something differently? Where would you go from here? I don't know. So there's a wolf in my house, but Anyway, does anyone have any questions about that? I think, you know, if I could pass on any wrap up advice in this call, it would be, number one, know that you can learn anything that you want to and be super confident in that. And number two, don't be afraid to learn by doing, because that's what's going to propel you forward the fastest. You're the only one that can, you know, you can gather all of this information, but don't be the keeper of that information. You have to do something with that information for it to help you in your life. Anything else? Wild man over there. All right. Well, I hope that was helpful, and I hope maybe I just counted in a little bit more the importance of the vital behaviors. And if you haven't done them today, then that's something that you'll do after the call. And guys, just don't, if like, I'm begging you to just not give because I've been there, like, just don't give yourself a way out, you know, like, don't make excuses. You're better than that. Like, you can do this, you can learn, you can grow, like, use each fear and excuse as an opportunity to be that much better tomorrow. It's not going to get easier until you get more confident in the doing. So anyway, hey, Christina, we're about to get cut off. How nice to see you.